What's up, family? Welcome to the J-Wro Show. This is Papa Smurf here in my Robin's Egg Blue, welcoming you guys to another fantastic plant-based recipe demo here with OGO and Ultimate Superfoods. Today, we're gonna be rocking a super simple, satisfying, and filling new recipe. We're doing Kale Apple Quinoa Bowl. Oh yeah. It's so easy, it's gonna make you wanna stroll. Now, to all the new subscribers out there, I wanna thank you guys so much for all of your comments and recipe ideas. And one of the big things I keep noticing is you guys are asking for simpler recipes. So, I'm gonna give you what you want, okay? Today's recipe, our Kale Apple Quinoa Bowl, has only 6 ingredients. Yes, super easy to prep. So without any further ado, let's put the Speedos on and jump in the deep end, shall we? I can keep this up as long as I need to until you're totally hypnotized and you do everything I say with this recipe. But you know, if you were to add a third. So we start with our organic apples. In this case, we've got some nice gala apples. You could do pink lady, you could do green apple, you could do Fuji, pretty much any varietal of apple you want depending on the flavor. We're just gonna do a small dice here on our 2 apples. So at this point, you know, you could be really strategic about it, or you could just kind of like do the fan method. I know you guys have seen both techniques here, but what I like to do is be somewhat strategic about my dicing. So no longer than maybe a width of your hand here. What you can do is just take a whole bunch and just go lengthwise to get that small dice. Next up here on the show, we have some dino kale, which also doubles as a nice fan on hot January days here in Los Angeles. Kidding, it's actually pouring outside. Like one of the 3 days in LA we get rain. Anyway, back to the kale. It is a great source of soluble fiber, enzymes, minerals, and, haha, vitamin K, as in kale. So the cool thing about this is not only flavor-wise is it going to complement the apples nicely, but the pectin in the apples combined with the fiber in this, great for your digestion and for getting things moving the way they should. So let's just chiffonade a half a bunch of kale here into fine shreds. So as you can see, all you need to do is just go lengthwise down your kale here. I like to do thin chiffonaded pieces here just because it has a nice mouthfeel. And when we saute it briefly with our apples, it's all gonna cook down really nice and evenly. For our light saute of our apples and kale, we're gonna be using some OGO extra virgin coconut oil, about a teaspoon and a half. We're not gonna need a ton of oil, but just add some to a medium-sized skillet, and then all the juices from the apples and the kale are just gonna cook down so nicely. It's an awesome flavor complement. Put it over a medium heat. We're gonna add our kale, and we're gonna cook it down for about 3 to 4 minutes. Once you start to cook it down, it actually shrinks quite a bit. It's kind of like nature's shrinky dink in green form. Delicious! Now right at the end of cooking down my kale, I want to add a big healthy pinch of OGO Himalayan crystal salt. The reason I love this salt so much is it's full of trace minerals like calcium and iron. Plus, it adds a really nice flavor profile to this dish. Now kale's looking good after about 4 minutes with a little bit of Himalayan salt. Go ahead and set it aside. The apples are gonna be more sensitive. They're gonna cook down quicker because of the water content, so maybe about 2 minutes or so. So our kale sauteed, our apples are slightly browned and cooked down for about 3 minutes, and also our quinoa is ready. So the optimal ratio for a tri-color quinoa or a white quinoa is 2 cups of water to 1 cup of dry seeds. You cook for about 15 minutes, and then you get this nice, beautiful, fluffy consistency. And this OGO tricolor quinoa is loaded with protein, amino acids. It's a great substitute for things like orzo or rice, or if you just want to add extra plant-based protein to your current diet. It's an awesome alternative. So the assembly of these bowls is quite simple. You just take a few scoops of quinoa. I like to build a mountain of quinoa, right? It's like if you build it, they will eat, they will come. A few shreds of our sauteed dino kale. And then I like to top it off with some of our browned gala apples here. Now, if you want to, just to add again a little more flavor, you could add another pinch of the OGO Himalayan salt. Just a little bit on top to really make those apples pop. And I know I'm notorious for this. We're gonna top it with hemp seeds. I love it, I can't help it. It's one of my favorites, and it's just gonna look so pretty on top of our Kale Apple Quinoa Bowl. So add a nice healthy pinch of hemp. And now it's time to take it to the face. Why? So you can get a proper taste. So you gotta get all the apple, kale, quinoa, hemp, salt. Here we go. Oh yeah. You have the crunchiness of the hemp seeds, the softness of those slightly brown gala apples, The crunch of the kale, it's so perfectly complemented. The salt brings it all together. This is a really simple recipe to give you guys tons of protein. Again, you've got the fiber in here, the vitamin K, the pectin from the apples, really great for digestion, really great for just having a nice, simple, hearty meal in the cold months, you know what I'm saying? In fact, I would love to know if you guys love this video, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. What's your favorite comfort meal, you know, during the cold months or those cold days where you just want to stay home and put on that hoodie, you know, the one with the hole in it that you just can't get rid of. It might be a little tattered and worn and, you know, you're never going to give it back to your old boyfriend because it's yours now and you took it. But anyway, what's your favorite meal to eat on days like that? Let me know and maybe I'll make a version here on the show. So family, we're wrapping up another amazing superfood recipe demo here on the J-Wro Show. Please follow me on my website, which is jasonwrobel.com. That's Jason, W-R-O-B as in baby, E-L.com. I'm also on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. Check me out there. And of course, I've got to thank OGIO and Ultimate Superfoods for once again hooking us up with the super easy, amazing superfood Flowjo here on the show. So I think there's enough left to share with the peeps here on the set. I'm gonna get out of here and throw you guys big, beautiful, sweet peaches. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon, you sweet baboon.